Hi friends, welcome to our channel. My name is Esther and this is Q-Est Fashion Hub. If this is your first time here, you are in the right place. You're welcome. Please hit that subscribe button and join the amazing family. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back to watch our videos. Okay guys, today I'm going to be teaching you how I created this piece on the thumbnail. If this is what you want to learn, then keep watching. So this is the fabric I'm going to be using. The fabric is a little bit stretchy. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to fold my fabric. Okay, that is what I'm doing. Basically, I'm folding my fabric into two. And then after folding, because this cloth is divided into two, we have the lower part and the upper part. So the full length of this gown is 40 inches. So I'm going to be using 30 inches for the upper part and 10 inches for the lower part. Okay, I hope that is clear. So because this fabric is stretchy, it's a little bit stretchy, I'm not going to be adding any allowance to the measurements. I mean my half length, my hip line, the length of the clothes. Just watch what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm not going to be adding half an inch for shoulder seam allowance, so just watch me. Okay, now I'm going to draw my starting line. If your fabric is not stretchy, go ahead and add your allowance. Okay, after drawing my starting line, I'm going to go ahead and measure the length for the upper part. I'm going to be using 30 inches, so that's what I'm marking. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and mark 30 inches across this fabric that I folded. Okay, so it enabled me connect my points together. Okay, so I'm just going to mark 30 inches also at that point, at that part, like you can see on your screen. Okay, after that, I'm just going to connect my points together to get a straight line. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and mark my half length, which is 16 inches. On a norms, you should add half an inch to it for your shoulder seam allowance. I beg your pardon, but I'm not going to be doing that. So now I'm marking my 24 inches for my hip line. So this is 16 inches for my half length, and also the next line you can see is 24 inches for my hip line. I'm not going to be adding any allowance. Okay, so I mark my 24 inches and I'm also going to go ahead and connect my lines together. Okay, so that is what I'm doing. Now after that, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurements. Because this fabric is stretchy, I'm not going to add any half-inch allowance to the shoulder. I'm just going to go ahead and mark my shoulder measurement straight. So that's 14 divided by 2 is 7. So that is me just marking my 7 inches. Okay, like I said, I'm not adding any half an inch. If you're using a fabric that is not stretchy, please add your half an inch shoulder seam allowance. Okay, I'm just going to go down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Okay, so I'm just going to mark it there. After that, I'm going to mark my armhole depth. I'm using 7 inches for this tutorial because the fabric is a little bit stretchy. Okay, so I'm just marking my armhole depth. Okay, after that, I'm just going to go ahead and mark my neckline, which is 3.5 by 4 inches for the front neckline. Okay, 3.5 by 4 inches. For the back, I'm going to be using 3.5 by 2 inches. Okay, so that is me just marking the 4 inches so that I'll be able to connect my lines together. Okay, just creating my neckline there. Okay, so if you have derived value from this video, if you are deriving value, please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so that is me just slanting my shoulder by the 1 inch I marked earlier. No, now I'm going to look for the midpoint of 7, which is 3.5 inches, and then go in by half an inch. Okay, from my front neck, from my front armhole. Okay, now once I'm done marking that, I'm just going to go ahead and try and connect my armhole. Okay, so that's what I'm doing basically. Okay, so after that, I'm just going to go ahead and mark my bust measurements. My bust is 37 divided by 4 is 9.25. I'm just marking my 9.25 there, and I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches for the side seam allowance. Okay, so I come to my waist. My waist is 31 inches divided by 4 is 7.75. So this is me just marking my waist measurements, and I'm adding 1.5 inches also for the seam allowance. Okay, so after that, I'm going to mark my hip measurement divided by 4, and that is 37 also. Okay, divided by 4 is 9.25. So this is me just marking, and I'm adding my 1.5 for my seam allowance also. After that, whatever you have there, you're going to be subtracting 1 inch from it. Okay, so for me, I have 10.75 minus 1 inch. I'm going to be having 9.75. So that is what I marked there. Okay, so just subtract 1 inch from whatever you have there. Okay, so this is me just connecting my armhole depth. After that, I'm going to connect from my bust to my waist, from the waist to the hip, and from the hip to the M. Okay, so that is it basically. Okay, after that, I'm just trying to shape my neck very well. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting. Okay, so I'm cutting the starting line first, and then the shoulders slope. After the starting line, I'm going to cut the shoulder slope and the armhole. Okay, so that is me just cutting and cutting and cutting. Okay. So I'm done, and this is it. I used the front panel to cut the back panel. Okay, so the difference between the front and the back is a 1 inch zipper allowance and the neckline. Okay, I use 3.5 inches by 2 inches. Okay, for the neck depth. Okay, can you see what I'm doing there? Just confirming that I used 1 inch. Okay, now I come to the waistline. I'm going to mark 1/2 inch. That is because I'm trying to avoid zipper bulge. Okay, so I'm going to mark 1/2 inch there, and then after marking, I'm going to grab my ruler and connect to the neckline. Just watch what I'm doing. Okay, so if you want me to do a very detailed tutorial on how you can avoid zipper bulge on your clothes, that has affluence and a straight gown, any of your clothes, just let me know in the comment section. I'm going to do a very detailed tutorial, my own way of avoiding zipper bulge. I'm going to do a full tutorial on it. Okay, so now I'm connecting it also to the M line like I did for the upper part. Okay, hope you can see what I'm doing. The line might not be straight because of the chalk and the fabric I'm working with. Okay, just repeat the same thing I did. Okay, so I'm just cutting along the line that I created, that I drew, sorry. So I'm just cutting and cutting and cutting. So after that, I'm just going to set this aside. Okay, so now I'm going in by 1/2 inch for the front armhole. So guys, I ended up using the same armhole for both the front and the back. Okay, after going in by 1/2 inch like this, I did the same thing for the back neckline also. I did it off camera, so you can do the same thing if you are using a stretchy fabric. Okay, so now moving to the cutting of the sleeve. I wanted to do a long sleeve, so at this point I discovered that my fabric is not enough, but I'm still going to join it. Can you see those pieces? I'm going to be stitching it together, joining it to it for me to be able to get the long sleeve that I needed. Okay, so this is me just marking my armhole you know, I use 7 inches, and then I'm adding the 1.5 inches I added to the sides seam allowance. Okay, so I'm looking for the midpoint. I'll just mark the midpoint of 7, which is 3.5, and then I'm going to go downward. You can do 4 inches or 5 inches, so I'm just going downward by 5 inches basically. So I'm just going to connect like you can see me doing. Okay, just connect it to meet that line there. Okay, so that is me just confirming my measurements. So at that point I have 8.5 altogether. You know, 7 inches plus 1.5, that's 8.5. So that is me just connecting and confirming my measurement there. And because I did have enough fabric there, I'm just going to try and manage what I have left. So my round sleeve is 10 inches at that point. Okay, remember I'm still going to add to it the fabric later. I'm going to join the pieces to it. Basically, that's what I mean. Okay, so if you have enough fabric at that point, you can add 4 to 5 inches extra to what you have there, depending on how full you want your sleeve to be. But for me, I think I'm having just 3 inches there, so I'm just going to use 3 inches. So if you have enough fabric, you can add 5, 4, or even 6, depending on how full you want it. So I'm just connecting my lines like so. I'm just going to grab my scissors and start cutting along the lines. Okay, that is me just cutting and cutting. Can you see? I'm going to be using those pieces because I really want my sleeve to be long sleeve. Okay, I just want to recreate what is on the thumbnail. Okay, so I'm just opening up the sleeve because I cut both sleeves together. So this is me just opening it up. Like you can see on your screen. Guys, if you are deriving value from this video, please give us a thumbs up, okay, and subscribe. Now for the lower part, what you're going to do is, after you are done joining the side and everything, the shoulder, you join the side, then you're going to measure whatever you have there, and then multiply it by 3. So now let's assume you have 30 there. When you are done joining and shaping your clothes, you're going to multiply 30 by 3, that's 90. Okay, that's how to know the amount of fabric you're going to cut for the lower part. So if you have enough, you can make it times 4. Okay, but for me, I think I used times 2.5. Okay, so whatever I had there, I multiplied it by 2.5. So I cut it in 2 places and half. Okay, I don't know if you understand what I meant by that. Okay, let's assume we have 30, so you're going to, instead of cutting 90, you're going to cut 75 because of the fabric we have. Okay, so now basically I don't want to use bias for this for this style, this clothes. I just cut facing with the pieces I have left, and this is the front panel, and that's the facing I have. I'm just going to turn my neckline right side facing right side. I'm going to turn the neckline, and then I'm going to notch and flip it to the side of the line and top stitch and iron properly. Basically, that's what I'm going to do for both front and back panel. Okay, so I'm done turning my neckline. That's what I have, and I also ironed. So that's the back also. I did the same thing to the back panel. Okay, after I was done, I'm just going to go ahead and join the shoulder like this, and then I'm going to close up my zip allowance. Can you see? I'm going to close it up so that it will enable me to shapen my clothes at the side. So I'm just going to do all of that and then show you the next step. So after I was done doing that, at that point light just went off, so I'm going to be finishing this clothes with my manual machine. So can you see what I've done? I've closed the zipper allowance, I've had the shape, I've shaped the clothes, okay, and then join the shoulder. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be attaching the lower part what I'm going to do is to stitch loose stitches on it. You can decide to pleat it like I'm explaining there. You can pleat it round, or you can decide to stitch it stitch loose stitches. You can sew loose stitches. I don't know if you understand. I hope you understand. And then gather it, then you attach it to the lower part. After that, you're going to attach your sleeve like you see me explaining on your screen. I attach my sleeve. Oh god, guys, that's just the gist. Attach your sleeve, and then I'm going to hem the bottom. I'm going to fold it for the elastic case. Okay, after that, I'm going to go ahead and attach my zipper, my invisible zipper. So I have a detailed tutorial on how you can attach your zipper professionally. I will show you. I'll drop the link on the description box. So this is the final look of the beautiful gown. Can you see how beautiful and lovely it came out? It's so smart and it's simple and elegant. Okay, that's just the gist, guy. So this, can you see the back view? No zipper budge, everything is just aligning, everything is in place. Okay, so guys, if this tutorial has been helpful to you, please subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a huge thumbs up. It encourages us to create more content for you. Okay, my name is Esther and this is Q-Est Fashion Hub. Don't stop learning, keep learning. This is me signing out. See you in the next tutorial. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.